once said that this is not the final step on our way to freedom. This is the first step of an even longer and tougher journey. And I think there's no more poignant moment to reflect on that. And he went on to say that freedom is not won by the chains being cast. Freedom is determined by how much we honor and enhance and respect the freedom of others. And I think that's something that we need to have close in our heart, because if there's one man in this country who can unite this country, it's Nelson Mandela. And we've got to understand that through our actions, we keep that man alive, we keep that spirit alive. And I'd like to share these words that I hope will bring Nelson Mandela to us right now, and hopefully bring his spirit out in all of us.
All right, well, we spoke to them prior to that journey, and as they harnessed their Madiba spirit before they walked to Pietermaritzburg and ran the 2015 Comrades Marathon, what better time than in Mandela Month to check in with what happened on that journey? Unogwaja founder John Mcinroy joins us from our Seapoint studio. A very good morning and welcome to Morning Live. John, it's not the first time that we chat, but for other people that don't necessarily know exactly what the Unogwaja is, can you just briefly explain to us what the Unogwaja is and its relationship with sport and the Comrades Marathon?
Sure. Unogwaja started 5 years ago as a result of inspiration from a man whose nickname was Unogwaja. His full name is Phil Masterton Smith, and in 1933 he couldn't afford the train fare from Cape Town to Pietermaritzburg to take part in the Comrades, and instead of giving up, he got on a bicycle in 1933 and he cycled across our country to take part. And it's his inspiration that has sparked this journey that now has covered over 5 years and has included so many South Africans along the way, and not only South Africans but people from all over the world who are joining in on this mission, and it's an important one.
All right, so you guys cycle and then you go and run the Comrades Marathon. But this year you guys did something a little bit different. And you and one of your fellow Unogwaja members actually walked from Cape Town to Pietermaritzburg before you guys ran the Comrades Marathon. Tell us about that journey.
Well, the important thing about the journey is it was about including South Africa in it. We've experienced crossing the land on bikes, and it's been really special. And in 2013, just outside Lady Freer, a young boy running to the side of the road shouting, "Unogwaja, Unogwaja," and imagining how that story has been placed with that young man. But there was something missing. That young man should be part of this journey, and that was the journey towards walking across our country and taking all barriers away and getting our country to come together. And I can certainly say that the experience of walking from Cape Town to Pietermaritzburg and experiencing our country on foot was very special, and there were pockets of that magic of people coming together and joining arms and sort of it wasn't about it's not a political thing. It's not about where you're from or what color you are or how rich you are or if you have a bike or it was the ultimate experience of coming together as South Africans, and I think that's really, really important.
Why do you guys actually do this?
Well, there's a number of different reasons. I believe that Unogwaja has a really strong role in the future of our country. There's a number of different things, but one of the things that has emerged is the Unogwaja Light Fund is a charitable organization that now focuses on empowerment, on education, and we hope that through these journeys, the cycle journey and the journey on foot, that not only that will bring people together to walk together and to stand together as South Africans and people who are living in South Africa, but also to contribute to building a legacy in our country, which I think is really, really important. From the beginning, We've started raising money for the Comrades charities, and we've still this year raised over R250,000 for the Comrades charities, taking our contribution to them to over R2 million. But we also want to contribute to what we believe is the most important thing for South Africa, and that's around empowerment. And we've seen so much light across this country, so many people who are contributing so much in their communities. And we want to focus on these people because these are the people that if we can support them, they're already supporting themselves. But if we can support them a little bit more, their example has such an impact on the people around them.
John, we often see sport being used as a vehicle to raise funds for a number of different causes, but it seems that the Unogwaja has transformed into something a lot bigger.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. It's certainly not just a charity fundraiser. I mean, in our first year we raised 50,000 Rand, and now 5 years later we're raising well over R1 million each year, and it's still a small group of people. But I completely endorse that. It's not just a fundraiser. It's about people standing up and being counted. It's about people taking responsibility. When you hear this story, it's about someone who had nothing, who's been willing to not give up and to keep going. And for me, there's something about hope in Unogwaja. Whoever comes across this story, it's like it reminds him or her that you know, you've got to have hope. And there's been so many examples crossing this country on foot where we have engaged with and exchanged with so many people and felt that hope and passed that on. And that's what Unogwaja is about. And I hope that in years to come, we will be reflecting on something that has had a material impact on the future and the sort of direction of our country. And I think it's really important. And, you know, the Caminos is something that has become a spiritual global journey in northern Spain. And I believe that Unogwaja is a journey of hope for all South Africans.
You mentioned prior to you guys going out on foot at the beginning of May ahead of the Comrades Marathon, when you guys walked from Cape Town down to Durban, or rather down to Pietermaritzburg ahead of the Comrades Marathon. You mentioned Nelson Mandela. It's Mandela Day in just a couple of days. What will you and the Unogwaja team be doing?
Well, I have quite a few strong beliefs about that man and about Mandela Day specifically, and I guess it's an appropriate time to speak about it. But for me, Mandela Day needs to be lived every day, and it's not something specific I'll be doing on Mandela Day. I carry that guy in my heart, and I know that many South Africans do, and it was amazing to cross the country and see Zulu speakers, Xhosa speakers, Sotho speakers, Afrikaans speakers, English speakers, that when you mention that man's name, their whole being transforms, and his legacy is still alive, and it's up to us through our actions to carry it forward and ensure that it lives on. And certainly on the 18th, I'll be having an extra special thought for that great guy, and hoping that I can carry his legacy forward in my actions, and I hope that all South Africans can do, and not just for 67 seconds or minutes or hours. Like, it's about a lifetime commitment. As he showed us, he committed his life to this mission and to our country, and it's now our turn. I think Mandela once said, you know, it's time for the burden to be passed over, and the baton is now in our hands. And I believe that Unogwaja is a really special way for all South Africans, no matter where or what our circumstances are, to contribute and to be part of something that can take this legacy forward and can grow a legacy that is way beyond ourselves.
John, you and the team of people that make up the Unogwaja are a real inspiration to many young South Africans, and we hope that many more people can follow in your footsteps and make every single day a Mandela Day. I know that that's not only a very good marketing line, but it certainly is something that people can bring into their everyday lives. That's John Mcinroy. He is the founder of the Unogwaja, making use of sport, walking, cycling and running as a vehicle to raise funds, but also to hopefully conscientize many South Africans. Let's get your headline news now with Sam.